I'm live, just getting my hair ready. I look a little shiny, but it's okay. I'm sure there's only one of you actually watching this live. So I just decided to do it. I'm hopping on that live game, but I'm not there yet. The camera's up there. Okay, here we go. Let's get this party started. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Weekly Awakening podcast. It is your host, Cosmic Colleen, back with another Astro Alert update. I hope everyone enjoyed the vibes of last week. They were definitely fun, feeling, and healing. I know, going with the holiday, a lot of people, not just myself, had just like easy going, flowing holidays. And I'm sure that, or I should say, I hope that all of you did as well. We're starting off this Monday getting ready. I'm telling you what, I'm getting my week in order and I'm getting my shit aligned. We're starting today with Mars retrograde trine Saturn. Now, before I talk about that, I want to remind everyone to follow me on social media. You definitely want to follow me on TikTok. That's really where it's at. And I sit with this every week for about, a few hours and I meditate on it and I write about the astrology of the week and how I think that it's going to show up in your life. And then as I'm out there living it in the salon with my astrology clients, with my kids, with myself, more things come to me and I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is Mars trine Saturn," and I go onto TikTok and I talk more about it. So definitely if you want to know more about astrology or you just can't get enough of my astro alerts, definitely follow me on there. The other social media is a little bit more personal. You can do that too. Cosmic Colleen, one C in the middle, I guess I should say. I want to remind also everyone that the best way you can help me with this show right now is to rate, review, subscribe, send this to a friend. And just listen, comment, post, all that stuff helps. And so many of you have been doing that from the very beginning. And I thank you again from the bottom of my heart. And I'm super grateful. And you guys were on my list of gratitude for Thanksgiving. I don't know about you, but I really try to focus on gratitude when it comes to Thanksgiving and what I am grateful for. Half of our problems, honestly, if you look at it in life, are a lack of gratitude for what we currently have. Our mind sometimes tricks us and wants us to go fast forward and constantly stay out of the moment. And that can also take us away from realizing what we already have and what is important. So, some of you know, because I share about this a lot at night, my kids and I go over what we're grateful for. And I try to stay in that on Thanksgiving Day in like gratitude. Like almost everything I encounter, I say, I'm grateful for this. This is actually also a good practice for, a law of attraction practice is spend your day or most of the days when you're consciously aware of it, say, I am so grateful. I am so grateful for this coffee. I am so grateful for being able to put gas in my car. I am so grateful to have these shoes to walk. I'm so grateful for my health. I mean, literally every move you make, try to say I'm grateful for it on top of that. And it's like a great way to raise your vibe, change your mindset, all kinds of things. But definitely on the turkey day, that's what I do. And so I'm just telling you guys, do this as a daily, weekly exercise and you'll raise your vibration for sure. So with Mars trine Saturn, we have Mars retrograde. We are almost a month into Mars retrograde. That began on October 30th. How is everyone feeling? It hasn't been so bad. I don't think that a lot of the Mars retrograde stuff is going to start to kick off until December or the end of this week. And anything that has been Mars retrograde ish seems to be shiftable or mutable or not so permanent. I know that's been my experience so far in my life. But with Mars trine Saturn, we're definitely going to have the mental stamina to get shit done today and throughout the week. That's how we're kicking off this week. So we're also going to be finally able to fully comprehend something to a full degree. We're going to be putting our energy into the right places. We're also going to be able to see where we need to put our energy and how do we create structure and boundaries to get ourselves to the goals we want. And whether that's an energetic goal, a spiritual goal, a work goal, a soul goal, a friend goal, we actually need structure and discipline and boundaries, which with all my Mercury, you already know I'm not very good at all that. But again, I'm learning and I'm implementing it big time. And if we haven't seen the growth of that, because this week we should be seeing the growth of setting those boundaries, creating that structure, we're going to have the mental clarity to see where and how we actually need to. And I think that this week can also have a very a come to Jesus again. I always like to say the come to Jesus talks, a truth talk, a real talk, get your shit together, get your mind in order. We should be able to make a clear decision that is concrete this week. If you've been a little topsy turvy, I think especially since, Mercury was in Libra when that usually happens, this week we're going to be able to make a clear, cut decision. Also, that's think responsibility this week. If you need to take responsibility for something, or maybe you made a previous decision since Mars has been in Gemini, or things has been happening you made, in Mars in Gemini, we can really definitely rush a decision and not think something through all the way and just do it out of passion, out of excitement, out of enjoyment. And now we're actually having to see the responsibility from taking that action, from taking that risk. And now we have to live up to the responsibility. And the end of the week might even feel like that when Mars goes opposite Venus. We can have to then live through the responsibility, not just gain the awareness, but now we have to live or share about that with someone. Structure, and if these things are happening and they feel not good, just know that this is happening for your growth, for your higher purpose. Like, self growth is not easy. It is not easy, and it certainly is hard. Okay, so then we have Mercury will be sextile Saturn on Tuesday. And as you know, we have Mars and Gemini and Mercury's sign of Gemini right now. So again, there's going to be strength and grounded power in your words. It started with today, but you're being able to speak your mind and feel very strong in that. I feel like the beginning of the week, we might not have too much anxiety. I think we're going to feel pretty solid in our decisions, but by the end of the week, we might get a little bit of anxiety. We might feel, again, rushed or a little bit all over the place. So then we got Mars retrograde opposite Venus retrograde. I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, and it won't. It could, if something does happen, chances are it won't be totally permanent or won't, leave a major soul scar on your life because it's happening in mutable sign. However, I think there's going to be some breakups this week. I think there could be some friend breakups, some family fights, and maybe some romance breakups. We have Mars retrograding in Gemini, which again, we're looking at why there might be breakups or something a little bit bigger activated because we have Mars retrograding in Gemini, which has not happened for a very long time, and it's going opposite Venus. And Venus will be in Sagittarius. So again, maybe it's like wanting freedom, and instead of expressing that you wanted freedom, you just went out and acted on the freedom, and now you might have to face the responsibility of not actually just talking about your freedom. Because Mars retrograde in Gemini, I think really one of the lessons here that's activated is our lack of communication and how so much goes wrong because of our lack of communication, and how we're afraid to say the things we want to say, be honest with ourselves, be truthful with ourselves. And Mars retrograde will give us the unique experiences to have to show up there and have to do it. There definitely can be some fights with the women of our family, and our children can be a little bit more combative. When I look at Venus, I like to think of children, as well as the females in our life, our sisters, our aunts, the mothers to a degree, female cousins, just that female energy. There might be some more fights there or some disagreements, or even maybe some trauma that we might have around that can be activated. This can definitely be a little bit of a mother wound activator. And because the Venus will represent our inner child, I like to think a lot that active child. So And you also might see a little bit of your reckless behaviors, or if you like to self-indulge a little too much, you might drink a little too much, or you might have sex with the wrong person or someone you really didn't really want to, or give in to other delights that maybe took you down bad paths. That doesn't mean if that happens, it doesn't have to be permanent. You can always restart. We have this moment, we have today, and everything can restart. As most of you know, I'm a former drug addict, and I was a heroin addict many, many moons ago. Thank God. We're coming up on 11 years total sobriety from that, from hard drugs, not marijuana, but hard drugs. Um, and you can restart, and there were many times before I got there that I fell off the wagon, that I jumped back into that something that wasn't good for me because I wanted to feel a temporary fleeting feeling of escaping. So if you do that, don't be so hard on yourself. Sometimes, for whatever reason, we have certain things in our life that we may struggle with for the rest of our life, or we're meant to evolve over time with it. So just know that you can always restart whatever you did, however you acted out. Learn from it, get a deeper understanding, and then move past it, because life does go on at the end of the day. That's the important thing to remember. Life always moves on. Now, to add to a little bit of that acting out flavor, we have Mercury squared Neptune retrograde, and then Neptune stations direct this weekend. So there can be some disoriented perception or thinking on yourself, or someone in your life. There can also be pushing away responsibility, not wanting to take it. So again, at the beginning of the week, we're taking lots of responsibility. We have to face it. But maybe by the end of the week, we want to run away from it because we took too much responsibility. Like a little kid, sometimes when my kids act out really bad and I'm giving them the lecture over and over and over again, and I feel like with Mercury, I'll just exhaust my words. And they're like, okay, I understand. I get it. I get it. Okay. I don't need to hear anymore. I just want to run away from, and I just want to forget that I even got in trouble. That's what I mean. That's what we might be feeling this week. Okay. I took the responsibility. I took the action I needed. Let me just run away now and escape from that. And that could be the escape vibes I'm talking about. You could get caught in a lie this week, or catch someone in a lie. But again, it won't be such a big, huge lie that will end something. Hopefully not, because it's in Pisces, the mutable sign. And also, like I said, you might surprise yourself by saying a lie, like a little white lie, catch lie. Like I know I don't really lie at all. I'm just like too honest, too truthful. I'm a bad liar when I do. Obviously, when I was bad young, I was a better liar, I think. But sometimes I'll just, not white lie, but like to my mother, I won't want to explain something because she'll ask 100 more questions. So I'll just sort of like white lie, I guess you could say. And then even afterwards, I'm like, why did I even do that? Why do I even care? Why don't I just say, stop asking the questions? Things like that. You might even just something low key, nothing that's a real soul serious damager, but something low key might happen. And then this weekend, we have Neptune stations direct in Pisces. So again, moving ahead with our dreams and goals, I think the collective should be coming together again a little bit with some wisdom. I think you should see more people in the collective, because with Neptune, we look to the collective walking around with wisdom, since Jupiter's finishing out its last time in Pisces, Neptune's going direct. The collective are all of a sudden waking up, and we're going to see the positive results from the collective waking up, I think, or we should start to see that when that happens. That is going to be a lot of what other notes do I write here? Um, Okay, so we already talked about the responsibility. We also talked about the running away from the responsibility. I think that again is going to be a big thing. And this weekend also with Venus opposite Mars, we could be, again, Mars is the shadow activator. Mars activates things. So I think another way this might show up is how you're living a lie through happiness, meaning you're fooled by your own happiness. You think that something that is outside of yourself, maybe materialistic, is giving you happiness. And now all of a sudden you're like forced with this instant emptiness from it. And you can see how, oh, wait, that actually did not bring me any happiness. That was all, not real, if you could say that. I think that might show up, or ways that you're just not happy. You might be surprised and say, "You know what? I'm not happy in this marriage anymore. I'm not happy, you know, planting in my garden." It could be, again, depending on how this is happening in your chart, it could be as severe as not wanting to be in any marriage to as less as like, I don't like planting carrots outside anymore, if you get what I'm saying. So this week, we're going to be taking responsibility for our actions and actions that maybe we move too fast with. And then we're going to get a deeper look into what our happiness is and what brings us pure joy and happiness. And, the key to my happiness is finding enjoyment in my small days and my small moments in life. And I got my Christmas tree ready. We like Christmased out my whole house for the most part. We still have a lot more to do, actually. I keep buying more and adding more. I'm feeling very good, but I realize it makes me so happy to come down when it's dark in the morning, have my coffee in front of that Christmas tree, and just seeing that joy. And let me share two more little stories about my kids. Last week when we were setting up, I had my boys, Remy and Abram, do Christmas lists. And these were so cute. My older son, Libra moon, Libra Mars. He's got a lot of Aquarius, so he's just a giver and a lover. And he writes, I just want a nice time with my parents and my family and a kitten. And I don't know if he's smart enough to know that if he started with that, he might get that kitten, but he really is full of love. And my younger son, who's full of love too, but also full of a big imaginative world, he writes that he wanted a Deadpool costume, a puppy, a bear trap, a fake thumb, a fake cooking stove, and then he wrote a fake penis. But then he took that off. He scratched it off because he didn't want Santa to see that. It was funny. It was cute. I just want to share that with you guys to hopefully make your Monday a little bit brighter and just share those. I love the kids' innocence. I wish I could I don't know, bundle that up. Maybe that's why I take so many photos and videos. But either way, guys, this week the mind is on your side. Slow and steady wins the race. Think things through this week, and it should come easy to you, though, also. All right. I hope everyone has a fabulous week. Thank you. I love you guys so much. Goodbye. Oh, there you are. Okay. Goodbye, everyone. Sorry. I know I looked halfway the camera, but again, I'm sure only one of you watched this. I was live for 17 minutes.